Khalid's Playhouse. Hey guys, how you guys all doing today? I hope you guys are all feeling blessed and highly favored. It's me, Khalid, the spiritual scientist, aka Khalid the Great, and welcome to Khalid's Playhouse, where, girl, well, Khalid's Playhouse is all about sharing wisdom and insight, divine feminine wisdom, I would say, divine feminine wisdom and the consciousness of the inner child, okay? Well, the expressions of the inner child. So, yeah. I feel good. I hope you guys are all feeling amazing. I'm not sure if I said I hope you guys are all feeling blessed and highly favored today, because I genuinely hope you guys all feel blessed and highly favored, because even on our worst days, it's still a day for us to feel blessed and highly favored, okay? Period. We are doing this podcast. This podcast is going to be podcast 831 in relation to the Message in Minutes, project 831 on Kaleidoscope. So make sure you guys go check that out to get some background information on what we will be discussing today. Okay? Hold on, give me a second. It's my cat. It's like she always gonna come around me every time I start doing work and stuff. Like, she loves attention. But yeah, y'all. If I have to bring up what was said in Message in Minutes, then I will. But I will always encourage you guys to go and check out Kaleidoscope, because that is my other page, my other YouTube page, where it has different content, and that content will always be in relation to what we have going on here and vice versa, okay? They're kind of like two different sides of me, two different forms of expression, two different approaches. I will say that we are still kind of doing that podcast thing in a sense where I'm not showing my face anymore. So you guys may have noticed that if you have been keeping up with me on YouTube. I do plan on getting my podcast out on, the Apple Podcast, Spotify, when the time comes and when God truly allows it. And He's allowing it. I think He's just waiting for me to make that decision for myself when I'm ready to do so. And I am ready. I'm pretty ready. It's just a matter of time, to be honest. It's really a matter of time. But I definitely want to get into it. I want to highlight, I would definitely say that one of the core ideas or things behind Message 831 is innovation, trying something new. It's like trying new things, trying different things, and your desire for better things in your life, whether that's your desire to do better in your life so that you can attract better, or your desire for actual better quality things, or better things in terms of value, newer things in terms of value, or newer ways of doing things. And I want to start by highlighting that our desire to incorporate new things into our life, whether it's a person, place, or thing, or our desire to incorporate something better in our lives, whether it's a person, place, or thing, or like an action, it highlights a lot of different things. I would definitely say that it highlights the one thing that I know it definitely highlights to the core is fear. But naturally, I feel like the things I feel like when we desire something so deeply, or when we want to go towards something, or when we are attracting something, or when something's trying to attract us in, I think naturally on that journey of attraction towards each other, as you guys, as those two different entities, whether it be physical or not, when two different ideas meet, there's a sense of attraction and opposition that kind of highlights the different forces that are opposed to those attractions. And ultimately, it's up to you if you want to address that opposition that is stopping you from actually connecting. Because to attract is one thing, but when you attract something, that means you're pulling it into you're pulling it towards you, right? And that thing is pulling you towards it. But just because it's pulling you towards it doesn't mean you're connected. You're connected just yet. You know what I'm saying? What stops you from really connecting completely to that person, place, thing, entity, activity, action, whatever the case may be, you know? So I had to take a nice little sip of water. But fear, I was trying to understand, give me a second, I'm trying to understand where I was going with that. There's just a lot of, I think the fear of the unknown, especially in regards to like incorporating new things, because sometimes new things can be different. And it can be different for you, it can be different for other people, and it can be different for all that is concerned in regards to the effect that this new said place, person, thing, situation, action will have on everybody that's concerned, or everybody that comes in contact or in interaction with that said phenomena. You know what I'm saying? Because this doesn't just have to do with, see, in the message in minutes, it definitely talked about like a project, an idea, but baby, stay. Give me a second. It's my cat. Like, just stay. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm looking at the spread that I used to get that message, and with this Aries energy, this Artemis card that I see here, it's definitely highlighting creativity. Okay, but it also highlighted impetuosity, cleverness, rash decision making. So, in a sense, there's like two sides to the scale when it comes to this energy. It's like you can be very impetuous and use your cleverness and your creativity to kind of rush into things and kind of just do what you want, make decisions, but those decisions may not necessarily be the best decisions. And you're prone to causing a lot more destruction for yourself or for other people because you're not taking the time to think about your decisions, you're just kind of rushing into them. And then on the other hand, there's more calculated decisions, which tend to pull on more thought processes and intellect and emotion and perception, which ultimately brings in imagination and creativity, right? And with that, it's like, for those that kind of rush with their decisions, they perhaps don't necessarily think about all of the fears and all of the different blockages that stop them from going towards that decision. But perhaps even the decisions that they make aren't even the most truthful decisions in a sense, because we have the mask here in this spread, which is all about illusion and falseness and masked behavior. and it's like a Capricorn Aquarius energy. It's like the Aquarius energy is trying to renew or bring some type of newness to this type of old-fashioned energy that kind of stays stuck in the said behavior or template that it was originally in prior to that newness coming along, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So different, like, habits, habitual thinking, traditional thinking, old-fashioned thinking, and in the face of newness, in the face of something new, in the face of innovation, and most importantly, innovation that is probably important to cultivate even more beyond our perception of what we originally once saw when we were in that old-fashioned, traditional, habitual space. It may come off very elusive, very deceitful, very unusual, right? Oh my gosh, if my cat does not stop. Sorry, I didn't want to lose my train of thought. I think I already finished that sentence. Like, it comes off unusual sometimes. I don't know where I was going with that, because my cat just tried to jump all over my spread that I was staring at. Like, bruh, we playing, like, it's like the moment that I decide that I want to do some type of work, or if it's like I'm eating, every time I want to do something that has to do with me, she just wants to get up and come. She literally isolates herself all day, and then when I want to do something that has to do with me, she like wants to be all up in my space and my energy. And she's still not getting the fact that she needs to stop stepping on my spread when I'm like here, like. But when it comes to trying something new, when it comes to birthing or experimenting with a new venture or idea, whether that idea or new venture came up because I also want to highlight how our desire for new, different, and better things, like new, different, or better things. It could be all three together. It could be separate. Whatever you're experiencing or whatever resonates with you, our desire to go for new things, different things, or better things, and to attract that into our life is really based on our experiences and the interactions that kind of shape us in the present moment, that create or trigger a desire for more. In the message in minutes, I highlighted how for those, like there's honestly two ways that one can really evaluate whether they want something new, better, or different in their life. They have to like look at what they have going on right now, whether like, because you can apply this to like physical things, spiritual things, mental things, whatever the case may be. You look at the value and the worth of what you have going on now, and that desire for something new could come from the lack of appreciation for what you have, the lack of you valuing it, and so you want something new, different, or better. Or you could value it so much and realize that I appreciate what I have going on right now. I appreciate everything that this has taught me. I appreciate my experience and interaction with this said person, place, or thing, or action, whatever the case may be, right? But you have a desire to go beyond that, to elevate beyond what you have once originally settled for, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like I see this image of like I climb like a mountain, right? And I climb like I climb a couple of miles up, the hill or up the mountain, and I find a resting spot, right? I create my little camp, spend like a day or two there. But at some point in time, I may look around me and be like, okay, like I explored everything that I need to explore here. I've experienced everything that I need to experience here. Perhaps I should aim. It's either I could aim higher to go to a higher or find a better spot on that mountain, on that hill. I could decide to go back down, do something else completely different. You know what I'm saying? Once you meet yourself at a certain destination, you are met with choices and decisions that are made. Because you don't have to make them. You don't need to make them. But perhaps you're encouraged to make them. You should make them in order to be somewhere better, or be somewhere different, or be somewhere that is perhaps more innovative for you, something that is newer for you to embrace. And I personally don't see anything wrong with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like eventually what was new becomes old, and you know what I'm saying? And what is old eventually becomes new. And when I say that, I think about it that it's kind of like a cycle. And it's crazy because we have in the center of this spread the wheel, lunar mansion 5, but that's all about pushing things into the right social circles and communicating and making the right connections to keep a certain enterprise or idea rolling, right? And keep in mind, like, a lot of the things that merely trend based off of our ability to connect to it as a body, as a society, or as a group, as a community, right? So that's also highlighting that Aquarius energy, right? So it's like when that society or that community highlights certain ideals, people, philosophies, actions, behaviors, right? Eventually, if you keep doing that over a period of time, Saturn energy, Capricorn energy, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the father of time, right? When you do certain things over a period of time, over and over and over again, that creates a tradition, it creates a habit, right? And that new tradition, when you keep doing it over and over again, it's no longer new, it just becomes old. And that's where that old energy, that Capricorn energy comes in. You'll notice that Capricorn energy is very traditional. They don't really change as much. They kind of stick to their guns. You know, they don't really. But then there's those Capricorn and Aquarius cuspers and stuff. They do kind of come off a little weird and unusual, because I think with them, or with that energy, where Capricorn and Aquarius meet, it's like that power struggle between the old and the new. And it kind of creates this reaction, or these actions that don't fully manifest into the old, but don't fully manifest into the new. And it kind of reflects that power struggle. And it kind of comes off unusual. Because for me, I've met a couple of Capricorn Aquarius cuspers, and whether they show, because Capricorns and Aquarius, they're really good at concealing certain behaviors, okay? Capricorns, they're not as free-spirited, but Aquariuses are. So it's like sometimes they can be really like closed off and cold and very traditional, restricted, and then they could also be free and kind of unusual and eccentric in certain areas of their life. So like, for example, like I've met like Capricorns that are really like strict when it comes to their job and their career and their public status, and that's exactly what Capricorn rules. But then kind of behind the closed doors, they have a very eccentric behavior in relations to their friend groups and their sexual partners, their relationships with people and stuff. And it's weird for me, because for me, I would see that, I mean, and especially that Capricorn connects to Aquarius, and Aquarius rules social groups. It kind of highlights that connection, how your social group, your social group is a reflection of your social status and your career and the things that you go for, and vice versa. It's like your social status could also be a reflection of your friend groups and your communities and the social circles that you connect to too. I just be spitting, y'all. Now when it comes to doing something new or different or something better, because keep in mind, you could want something better in terms of value. You could want something better because, like, if you value yourself, you want to do better, right? So this could be about self-improvement. But if you value something, or if you don't value something that you have in possession or something that you experience, and you perhaps want to manifest something better in your life, better is new, better may be different. So it's like, I think the best way that I could talk about it is to relate it to my stuff. Like right now, I was focused on finding a better way to express my knowledge, my wisdom, express my spiritual gifts, and find a better means of communicating that through a social platform. So I started off on YouTube. I haven't fully got on Instagram. I haven't even really been putting stuff on Instagram. I originally started putting stuff on Instagram. That's when I first created Kaleidoscopes, and I was really structured and traditional in my approach, where I was just kind of doing things in a certain way. But I decided to put that aside and kind of go into hermit mode, this Virgo energy. And I began to, and it's crazy because the spread also has, the theme of this spread started off with this Virgo energy governed by Demeter. And she talks about compromising and that there's something that you're going to have to give up. And it's going to be returned, but the way that it's returned to you is going to be conditional. So when I think of that, I think they're saying it's going to be conditioned based off of like your actions or whatever, the way that you condition it to be. You get what I'm saying? The way that you condition it to come back into your life. So, for me, I started off with a certain perspective, a certain perception of doing things, a certain way of doing it. And then I kind of went within. I had to compromise my original opinions and perspectives and desires. And I kind of had to compromise that to find something better or find a newer way of doing it. Because for me, I was met with the experience that what I was doing, it just wasn't enough for me. It felt really old. I was getting tired of doing it. And I realized that it was like, it felt good when I first started it because it was something new. It was kind of like a breakthrough for me. But as I began to do it over time, it became very habitual. And I realized that this wasn't fully encapsulating my potential, and this habit that I was creating out of kind of playing it safe was kind of limiting me in my ability to create and my ability to express myself and express my knowledge and share my genius with the world. You know what I'm saying? That's what Kaleidoscope was about, right? So the next thing you know, I came up with Khalid's Playhouse, and I started getting all these different perspectives. I'm going to start sharing these different perspectives and my perception of reality, and I don't know, like all of these different things. Me being able to be open and honest with the different changes that I allowed to kind of take over in my life is ultimately what has brought me here, right? But that process wasn't easy. That process was tough. That process wasn't, there was a lot of fear, and there's a lot of things that I had to navigate through within in regards to my feelings and my thoughts and my perception of stuff that brought me to this place where I can actually feel free and feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in the moment. I don't really feel fully restricted between the old, and I also know that I have the opportunity to change and bring something new into the world, and bring something new into the world for myself and for other people. And I really hope that I'm expressing it through the lens where, because the best way that I can explain stuff is really through my experiences, and perhaps you guys can relate to that, you know? So, hold on, give me a second, because I need to, give me a second, y'all. I want to readjust myself. What was I saying? I don't know, y'all. I love myself. I love me. I don't know, like when I hear myself talk, I don't know, I find myself to be so amazing. I don't know, because to have the ability to really see myself, like, you could gain so much wisdom and so much knowledge from the most mundane things, you know? And it's like, it's kind of like a stepping block. It's like a building block for me. And it's like, if we even take it back to the previous podcast or the previous message in minutes, the first message in minutes, the first TikTok that I made, because this TikTok, this is something innovative for me. This is something new. This is something different. And I felt that this was, because I had a lot of fears in regards to sharing my projects on Instagram, because I'll be honest, I do fear that people would judge me. I don't think I was fully ready to accept the change that I wanted to show other people in regards to my own personal development and stuff like that. Because so much has changed, y'all. Like, I left my job. I'm back home now. All I really have for myself is really like my business. And I really just have myself. So it's like I'm kind of starting from ground up in regards to allowing these experiences to teach me certain things about myself and certain things about life that are very important for me to carry on moving forward in regards to my material endeavors, my creative endeavors, my spiritual, mental, and emotional endeavors, you know? Like, life literally is a lesson. Life is a class. So it's like, I definitely was guided to bring this perspective of teaching rather than just sitting there doing tarot and doing all this confirmation for people and giving them like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of like advice in regards to what they should do with their situation, rather than just giving them the actual life lesson and the wisdom that they need to hold on to forever. Because it's like, if you just tell them what they need to be doing in order to remove themselves from the situation, they won't fully learn from the lesson as to how and why they even attracted that into their life in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I stopped really doing tarot. So I felt that the best way that I could teach people and share my perspective on the knowledge and wisdom that I gained from my personal experiences. Because keep in mind, the most wisest people, the smartest people learn. You have to understand, all these people learn from their experiences. Whether that's a book that they bought or a situation that they went through that they needed to work through emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, they gain knowledge or raise their awareness on that situation and they share that. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, our creativity and stuff is also a manifestation of the experiences and stuff that bring it out. Sometimes it don't have to be traumatizing experiences that bring out our creativity. Sometimes it can just be our desire to want to be somebody in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like there could be a little girl right now that's just looking at Beyonce and just like, I want to be a superstar. You know what I'm saying? And just because she said that out her mouth and she just had that desire that she wants to be somebody that could be held in the same regard as Beyonce, she's going to manifest that legacy for herself in the way that God allows her to do that. You know what I'm saying? So the universe will attract and bring in these experiences for her to learn the necessary tools and knowledge and wisdom for her to apply to her life, so that she could get to that certain stage or get to that point where she could be like, yes, I remember I was a little kid and I used to watch Beyonce on the TV, and now I'm a celebrity. Now I'm where I wanted to be, and I'm so glad that I had that inspiration in my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's her valuing what she had in her immediate environment. When she watched that TV, she valued who she saw on that TV. She valued who she heard on that radio. And because she valued that so much, she knew that deep inside she could have did that herself. You know what I'm saying? So not only can I just relate to myself, like I'm trying to create, I also like creating scenarios for you guys to connect to and relate to as well. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all are driven by our desire to connect and to relate to something inside us or outside of us, right? When it all comes down to the nitty gritty, you'll notice that all my podcasts and everything has to do with this Libra, Gemini energy where we just relate and connect. And we learn. Sagittarius, I mean, it's like relate, connect, learn, live, love, learn. You know what I'm saying? And bitch, I find different ways to highlight astrology, philosophy, all of that into one small little lesson. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm on a road. Now, what else do I want to talk about? Because we're 30 minutes in. Oh yeah, let's start to clarify because we are 30 minutes in, but did I get everything I want to come out? Like, for example, like, for me, like, I'm still a little nervous about, I felt that I don't think I'll fully be satisfied until I show the community that I'm already connected to in regards to, like, people on Twitter and Instagram, because it's kind of like I separated myself from the rest of the world and from people that I really used to connect to find myself. And now that I've found something new and something different, I'm kind of afraid to show that or expose that side of me because I don't know how people are going to receive it. So in a sense, that's highlighting how I'm still worried about how other people are going to receive it, because perhaps I'm not fully yet finished receiving all of me in a sense. And I think I'm still waiting for this perfect moment or this perfect culmination of myself to debut to people. When in reality, I feel like the most important part is that process. You know what I'm saying? Because to continue to find yourself and to tap into that limitless potential, it's limitless. So it's like throughout your destiny, throughout your days on this earth, it's like, if that's my goal, if my goal is to express that limitless potential, it's like, Khalid, you constantly going to be changing. Khalid, you constantly going to be bringing new, different, and better things into your life. You know what I'm saying? And perhaps, yes, for a moment, in a time where you realize that you need to change, or you want to bring something better, or you want to do something new, you may feel like you are compromising certain aspects of yourself or certain things in your life in order to get something better. And that's why they have that saying, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, right? And that's what I started that message in minutes with, because that's what the card even indicated. It indicated that a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, but it's like, that only applies to places where you allow it to apply. You know what I'm saying? When you put something down in order to go for something better, whoever created that quote must have not received something better on the other side. It's like for me, and I think this is my Sagittarius energy, because I'm very optimistic and I'm very enthusiastic. And I think that's exactly what I hold this space, this spirit. I hold this, my spiritual energy, my soul that God has created has put me in this body to express that energy of optimism and enthusiasm and perspective and stuff, for people to understand that life is exactly what you make it. If you just say that a bird in the hand is worth two in a bush, and you say that perhaps it was better for you to stay with what you had than to go for something better, it's like you must have either are too scared to go for something better, or when you decide to go for something better, you fail. But it's like, when you fail, you get back up. If it was meant for you to return back to whatever it is that you lost, then you didn't really lose it. It's always there because God wanted it to be there for you. The universe wanted it to be there for you. But if you set yourself out to go and do something new, something different, something better, to bring that into your life because you know you need that or you deserve that on behalf of yourself or for other people, you should have stopped until you get that, no matter how many times you fall. And so when that kind of brings up this energy of prototyping, because in the message in minutes, I expressed how I felt that message was kind of alluding to the process of prototyping. And when I had finished typing that message in minutes, I searched that prototyping and I decided to see what prototyping was. And I looked into the process of prototyping, and where did I... Hold on, I need to find... maybe I took a screenshot, because I went on this website, right? And I was highly intrigued. Oh yeah, so it's Guru 99. Alright, I'm about to go to this website real quick, y'all. Prototyping. So it says, what is prototyping model? So see, like, prototyping is usually done in engineering, software development, technology, stuff like that. But when you really take it down to a practical level, this is really about experimenting and then taking those ideas and implementing those ideas to give it a concrete form or solid form for you to test it out, get results, so that you can perfect it into an actual product that is worth marketing or worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we really need to understand and take the process of experimenting creatively, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and physically more seriously. You know what I'm saying? But, and then once again, I think that's highlighted with that underlying energy being that the mass, Lunar Magic 24 mass, that Capricorn energy and that Aquarius energy, because Aquarius is all about science, and science is all about experimentation and the desire to want to experience new things and incorporate new things and stuff, and to study that. Perhaps our fear of leaving what we're so comfortable with and what we're so familiar with to do something new and to experiment with that causes conflict in our life. It's like, now it has me think about, like, somebody that was Muslim but wants to experience Christianity, or somebody that was Muslim that wants to experience Hinduism, or somebody that was straight and they wanted to experiment with the opposite, the same sex, or, you know, finding themselves and their identity and stuff like that. You know, there just comes up, it just brings up all of this fear, these fear and negativities. Like, if somebody was to do that, it's like somebody's gonna be like, oh no, that's false, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing this, that, and the third, that's not right, that's not normal. It's like, what is normal now was not normal then, and what is normal then is not always going to be normal now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, we hold on to things that stop us from allowing ourselves to really enjoy the process of life, in a sense where life itself kind of feels like a prototype. And I'm just kind of saying that intuitively. Like, I don't know, I'm not consciously here all the time, and I had to kind of let go of my fear to say that, because I feel like life is a prototype. It's like, here's a I was looking into the prototyping model phases. It says the first phase is requirements gathering and analysis. It says a prototyping model starts with the requirement and analysis. In this phase, the requirements of those systems are defined in detail. During the process, the users of the system are interviewed to know that what is their expectation from the system. So, like, on a practical level, whether it has to do with something creative you're doing, something that you're trying to do in regards to your behavior to better your life and stuff, you have to sit down and identify the goal. You have to identify the outcome that you're trying to reach, and you have to begin to identify what is required out of you and all that's concerned in the situation at hand in order to get there, right? So that's the first step. The second step is quick design. It says the second phase is a preliminary design or quick design. In this stage, a simple design of the system is created. However, it is not a complete design. It gives a brief idea of the system to the user. The quick design helps in developing the prototype. So this is where you take your desires and you start to brainstorm how that's going to manifest. You start to brainstorm the different actions and decisions that need to be made in order to bring that manifestation closer to its real, or bring that idea closer to its real manifestation in real time, in the physical. You know what I'm saying? it's like there's a process that goes from where everything is all mental, emotional, and imaginary, and it starts to become more concrete over time. You start to write things down. You start to look at things in detail and start to set certain actions and make certain decisions in order to bring these things to life. It's like with somebody, it's like back in the day, from when cars didn't exist, not everybody believed that a car could exist, and that somebody dreamt of a car. They decided to analyze mechanics and start to write the ideas down and start to put these things together to make things work, and they started doing tests, and the next thing you know, a car was made, and then from a car, somebody took the motor and was like, hey, maybe we could fly, maybe we could build a ship, and there was probably a group of people that didn't think that that was possible, or thought that we didn't need it, or thought that that wasn't necessary, but then they made it. And those have been amazing improvements to our lives in regards to communication and travel. And without a ship, or without an airplane, or without a car, we would never be able to travel more efficiently. We would never be able to explore the world. We would never be able to learn more about new things in the world and learn different cultures and stuff like that. You have to understand that these changes and stuff, once you get past those fears, these new opportunities, these different things, these things that seem so different that perhaps we're all fighting against, or our fears are fighting against and stuff, it's probably going to lead us to something far more innovative, or far more amazing, or far more important beyond what we could possibly imagine at that point in time. And that's probably why our fears are getting the best of us, because we simply can't imagine it, and we fear what we don't understand. Like, I don't know what else to tell y'all. Like, I don't know. I just feel in my head, I genuinely something. I genuinely feel for our society. I genuinely feel for my people, because it's just like, oh my gosh, it's like, it's so serious. It's like, almost like, if we don't break that habit of fighting change, or understanding why change happens in the nature of our creation, in the nature of our evolution, in the nature of our being. Like, bro, there was people that were living in mud houses and wooden houses and stuff, and never imagined that we could build the house that you're living in right now, or build the skyscrapers that you see in New York and shit. You think they wasn't scared? You think they wouldn't be fearful if they just magically woke up in a new world? If you woke up 1,000 years later, you think you wouldn't be scared about what the hell is going on around you? But there's a sense of accepting that you have to allow. There's a sense of accepting, because it's like, damn, what else can you do? You can't fight that. Stop fighting it. When you fight it, you disrupt the natural flow of what it's meant to be. And we're so attached to our ego. We're so attached to the status quo and the things that we find so much security in, just because we constantly do it over and over, and we normalize it, that when something's new, when it's time to do something different, it's like, oh my gosh, they raising hell, or this is evil, or, you know what I'm saying? And I guess in a sense, I gotta play devil's advocate. Gemini is definitely devil's advocate, y'all. Gemini is devil's advocate. Libra is motherfucking Lucifer, the light bringer. Venus, love, desire. Everything is driven by desire. Everything is driven by the desire to relate, the desire to connect, the desire to be. I don't know, y'all. I feel like I just be rapping. I just be tapping in. I just be rapping, y'all. I'm finna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, and I think this gonna be probably like a 2-hour long podcast, so we're gonna stop right here. I'm gonna put a little music in between, and then you guys could come back. So you guys could pause the podcast, come back later. Just wait till the music is a little over. It's gonna probably be like 30 seconds of music, just so it could be a bookmark for y'all to pause and do what y'all want. Okay. Alright, I'm back, y'all. I was thinking about this because I know I did say something a little bit controversial. I just want to emphasize that the light bringer, i.e. Venus, desire, the bringer of light. Light is all about consciousness. Light is all about illumination. What does light do? It illuminates the darkness. So it's like, if y'all haven't realized that our ability to know so much and our ability to be so aware of our surroundings is literally driven by our desire to do so and our desire to connect to the ultimate consciousness, which is God. Literally. The more that we desire to connect to Him through everything that we connect through in our lives, the more wisdom and knowledge that you gain, the more that you're able to expand on that. Point blank, period. Alright, anyways, and that's why I brought up the name earlier, for those that didn't understand. I ain't no damn devil worshiper. I promise you that. I ain't no devil worshiper. I worship God. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. But, I think the main thing that we needed to highlight there was, don't allow your fears to get in the way of you bringing something new, different, or better into your life. And that fear could be the fear of how that would mix with the old, the fear of how other people receive it, the fear of how you're going to get it done. Just don't allow fear to stop you from actually doing it, because when you allow fear to stop you from actually doing it, you've already lost the battle. You know what I'm saying? Perhaps the things that you fear probably aren't even going to happen, and the only person that's really stopping you from getting there is you. So, yeah, I think that's very important. I think now that I highlighted all of that, because like, okay, personally, like for me, like, I think I already expressed, like, my biggest fear was, I don't know how people are going to receive me, and so for sometimes that stops me from really wanting me to be in the present moment to create something new for myself and do something different, because I don't know if people are going to be appreciative of the different that I'm bringing. But I love the different that I bring it for myself. So it's like, that's why I started off on doing it on YouTube, and I didn't really share the YouTube videos or promote it, because I didn't really care about who saw it, because for me, I was very satisfied and I found value in the fact that I got it done and that I allowed myself to do something different. But as I started realizing that I want to share that with the rest of the world and that I really wanted to be heard, it was like, okay, Khalid, you're going to have to start putting yourself on these different platforms. And then I also had to start thinking about innovative ways to catch people's eyes and catch their ears, you know what I'm saying? So you're not really seeing nothing, you're just listening. So, for me, I was like, you know what, let me get back on TikTok. Because originally, when I first started this, I tried to do a message in minutes, but the message in minutes was not working because I was trying to give confirmation on what was going on in people's lives, and Spirit was not allowing me to do so. Spirit was like, Khalid, we are way past you doing confirmation. We are way past you. I feel like, I'm be honest, this is my own personal opinion. Like, sitting up there talking about other people's drama, what they got going on in their life, I just feel like it's so below me and it's bullshit. It's like, at the end of the day, what really needs to be learned is the lessons and the philosophies that's going to stop you from attracting these negative situations in your life. You don't need to go to a tarea to find out what somebody else got going on, or what somebody else doing. You know what I'm saying? You need to understand the wisdom that. Hold on, I see a shadow by my. Hello. All right, so I don't even know what I was saying. I just kind of lost myself. It was my dad. He needed help with something. So dang, I done lost myself. I done got distracted. But I guess let's just segue into the clarification. I think I'm going to clarify. Oh yeah, I think I was talking about my biggest fear in regards to this was, oh yeah, we didn't even finish. We got so distracted. I got so off tandem that we forgot to even finish highlighting the process of prototyping. So it's like after the quick design, you build a prototype. In this phase, an actual prototype is designed based on the information gathered from quick design. It is a small working model of the required system. So for me, in regards to my prototype, in regards to my approach to expressing or sharing my genius with the world, or expressing divine feminine wisdom and the expressions of my inner child, I have certain systems that I'm using in order to do so, and I'm creating a certain order and a certain pattern for myself, and from there I just kind of have to see the results that I gain from that and kind of make the necessary changes in order to produce more efficiency and bring in the effectiveness that I need. Because keep in mind, my product definitely is heavily, I feel like my position, oh hold on, my position in relation to what I have going on is definitely heavily related to the social awareness and interaction of it and with it. Because it's like, if I want to share my genes with the world, it's like my biggest goal is for people to really take in what I have to say and learn about it, expand on it, apply to their lives, and see how beneficial it is for them. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, everything that we know and everything that we have learned is through the actions, perspectives, and opinions and decisions of the other people around us. You know what I'm saying? Started from childhood, we have always been influenced by our environment and the actions and thoughts and emotions and stuff that transpire around us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I want to add myself into that mix because I have something to share, right? Now, hold on, I was just watching my cat. She's using the litter box. She's like so smart. Like just looking at her like clean up and stuff. She's so cute. I just like how domestic animals can become. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yes, let's go into the next part of the process. So the next part of the process is initial user evaluation. I think I just covered initial user evaluation. In this stage, the proposed system is presented to the client or clients or group of people, I would say, for an initial evaluation. It helps to find out the strength and weakness of the working model. Comment and suggestion are collected from the customer and provided to the developer. That's why when I do start to share this on TikTok, like I started sharing my message in minutes on TikTok, I started to, hold on, what is my cat doing? She just started doing the weirdest thing. She just like ran on the floor, like just looking around like a wildcat in the jungle. Oh, look at her. She wiping her hands, y'all. She's so cute. But, basically, when you're trying something new, especially in regards to a creative project or a new idea, because that's ultimately what it's highlighting. And I think what we really need right now is for people to be confident in manifesting their new ideas and manifesting their creativity for other people to experience and stuff, because it's going to lead to innovation. It's going to lead to major changes. It's going to lead to broader perspectives. It's going to lead to higher learning on a very huge scale. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is really to encourage y'all to not be scared of being yourself, not being scared of tapping into who you are and what you're meant to do here, because some of us are here to be different. Some of us are here to be innovative. Some of us are here to bring that change. And you cannot be scared of that change. You cannot be scared to be the change. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of us hide from our true nature and our true selves because we're scared to be the change. We're scared to wake up to the reality that change is going to cause us in our lives. And we can no longer do that. It's the age of Aquarius. Everything that you want to know, you need to go do what you have to do to require that information, to require that knowledge. And everything that God wants society and the collective to know as a whole shall be revealed, and it's going to be life-changing. Period. So the next stage in the process of prototyping is refining the prototype. It says if the user is not happy with the current prototype, you need to refine the prototype according to the user's feedback and suggestions. This phase will not be over until all the requirements specified by the user are met. Once the user is satisfied with the developed prototype, a final system is developed based on the approved final prototype. So it kind of reminds me of, I started to think about how Twitter had the little spaces and stuff. That was a beta. And YouTube has what them things called shorts. The shorts is the beta. Eventually they're going to take it down. They're going to get feedback on it. They're going to implement the feedback in order to perhaps incorporate it again and make it final. You know what I'm saying? Because their goal is to create a platform that is user-friendly and that, and I guess, pleases the user or enhances the user's ability to express themselves in different ways on Twitter and YouTube, Instagram, whatever the case may be. That's why Instagram came out with Reels. You know what I'm saying? And like filters, like Snapchat. These groups, these conglomerates and stuff, they find innovative ways and stuff for you guys to be connected to them and to stay attached to them and stuff. And you'll be surprised how even the most darkest entities and even the most evilest entities still know how to change and still know how to incorporate new things in order for you guys to still stay attached to habits and thoughts and patterns of ways of being that are probably not the healthiest for you. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that the platforms were evil. I'm just saying in general, because it's like you can see things in two different ways. Just like there is good people out there that use innovation for the benefit of the good, but there's also people that I guess you would be considered evil based off of moral standard or perspective that also use innovation and the ability to bring change into society and collective in order to influence things in a negative behavior. So you have to really be mindful in how all of these different things that you interact with and experience in your life affect you in relations to your intentions and the goal at hand. And I think that was clearly highlighted in project 828 or 829. I can't remember the number. but it was the first message in minutes that I put on TikTok in regards to how we need to be more mindful of our thoughts and be more mindful of the influences that affect our decision making, and how indecision can affect us in regards to our intentions to accomplish certain things in our life. Okay, so what's next? Okay, the last stage is implement the product and maintain. Once the final system is developed based on the final prototype, it is thoroughly tested and deployed to production. The system undergoes routine maintenance for minimizing downtime and prevent large-scale failures. So keep in mind, you can apply this system to practical things. You can apply this to like something new you're trying to do in your house, a practice that you're trying to do spiritually, a practice that you're trying to use for school when you're studying. You know what I'm saying? Like, for some of y'all might be in college right now. You're trying to implement a certain schedule in your life so that you can find a healthy balance between work and play, or work, play, and study. You know what I'm saying? And you create that system. You plan it out. You do it. You get your own personal feedback and evaluate it and analyze it. See what you need to do better for it to be efficient. And you decide whether you need to scratch it, whether you can improve on it, whatever the case may be. And once you finally get to that win all, be all type of moment where it's like, yes, this is doing exactly what I needed to be doing, you keep that and you maintain that process. And perhaps you can even teach that to other people. So it's like, y'all, I could use so many different examples, but that would just take up so much time. And I'll probably just die if I sat here and try to use, because I'm so detail oriented. Since there's so many different aspects of our lives, it's like I would like to apply to give an example for every different aspect, but it's like y'all have to use your brain, y'all have to use your intellect and take the objective and apply it to the situation at hand. That's what intellect is all about, is being able to understand things with an objective point of view. So where do you guys use the process of prototyping in your life? That's the real question. You can use the process of prototyping in the kitchen when you cook it. You can use the process of prototyping in school. You use the process of prototyping when you're creating a new project, or you want to implement a new job, or implement a new service, or implement a new idea to the public. Life itself is a process of prototyping. Overall, where you learn and you idealize certain things and you implement certain things to see what's working for you. And if you don't like what that's manifesting for you, what that's bringing into your life, then you continue to edit it. You continue to analyze and edit until you get to a system that is comfortable for you, that will take you to that next level that you desire, or keeps that flow of movement in your life. Period. And notice it says, I'm looking at this little thing right here on the prototype model. It says, oh yeah, I think we already highlighted that. My bad. Keep in mind, you keep highlighting it. Remember this the refining part will not be over until all requirements are specified are met. So if it's like, if you're doing something for the service of the public, or the interaction of the public, perhaps you are trying to take into account how the public reacts or interacts with whatever product or whatever service you're putting out, so that you can edit and change and analyze it so that it can meet their needs. So like for me, it's like my plan is to implement this on TikTok, show myself on Instagram, get people to look at my products on YouTube. Perhaps I actually need to put these podcasts on Apple Podcasts so that I can attract people that are actually ready to listen to podcasts. Because for me, I created the TikToks, especially for those that I'm kind of already thinking ahead. It's like, for those that don't want to listen to an hour or 2 hours worth of me talking, you could just get the lesson, apply it to your life, do what you want to do with that information. If you want to learn more about my wisdom and intake on it, based off of my own experience with this information, then you go to that damn podcast. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's kind of like, I'm already like kind of allowing my fears to teach me stuff, and using my creativity to conquer my fears and to beat myself. Like, it's like getting ahead of the game before it even started, in a sense. But I think that's something that I need to intuitively kind of study and pay attention to in regards to my spiritual journey, because I'm very futuristic. But that's what visionaries do. I remember I was on Twitter and I seen this tweet, and he was like, this person was like, a visionary don't have to be a professional to like bring something new or do something amazing in a certain field or a certain aspect of life or in a career. That's what the whole point of the visionary is supposed to be. Like, he said something far more intellectual and constructive after that statement, but I can't remember it, and I'm not going to look for the tweet, but shout out to that person, because it was amazing. But I think now we 20 minutes in, well, we're not 20 minutes in, we probably an hour. It's a change in, because I did implement that break, so it's because I haven't edited it and put the podcast, the different podcasts together, because they are going to be in one podcast. So I'm glad that I implemented a break so y'all can really take a break. I'm about to get some more oracle cards so that I can clarify this spread, because I am using the oracle of I'm using the moon oracle as well as the oracle of the radiant sun. I feel like the oracle of the radiant sun complements the moon oracle, seeing that it's made by the same person, the same author, and that is Caroline Smith and John Astroff. Period. So give me a second. I just want to channel my energy and get this clarification. I need to do some meditation. All our angels and ancestors, please help me gain guidance, clarity, and confirmation of the spread. Okay. Let's see here. Alright, so from the looks of it, what is really given. Hold on, y'all. Boom. There we go. So what it's really given, I feel like there's about to be a wave of, I don't know, it's probably going to be a wave of at-home businesses or people that just really be entrepreneurship. I definitely see entrepreneurship here. Creatives kind of taking the lead and kind of being that innovative force for the rest of the world, for the collective here. I definitely see that. I see that a lot of us are going to start to learn that there's certain things that perhaps we need to compromise. Sometimes, in reality, a lot of the things that we're probably compromising is the fears and the lies that we tell ourselves that tell us that we can't do what we were born to do, what we were put on this earth to do. I'm gonna be honest. Because a lot of us is wearing masks or is lying to ourselves or creating this illusion that we can't bring the change that we were born to be. We can't bring the newness that we were meant to do. We can't bring our true selves out to show the real world in order to actually, because we know that we're gonna bring damage. We know that we're gonna do some damage. We know that we're gonna bring some change. We know we're gonna bring innovation. But I think we're so afraid of the reaction of those that are trapped in their own fear of change that we don't want to bring the change, but we are the change. So for some of y'all may notice that even at the weirdest times, y'all always seem to be in control. Y'all always seem to be there in the right place at the right time. I definitely, with this protection card being the overall energy, you're divinely protected. You're divinely protected. You're being divinely guided, especially by a very strong feminine energy. So some of y'all could be connected to a feminine energy. We have Aries highly aspected. We have Virgo here. We have Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio. We have Jupiter in Capricorn. We have Moon in Leo. My moon is in Leo. We have Jupiter in Gemini as well. And okay, so let me kind of be quick with this. So what I see is, intuitively, you guys need to, there's an important decision that y'all need to make on behalf of your creative endeavors. Y'all need to play it cool. That's what this Artemis card is. This Aries card is about. It's all about playing it cool. Be calm and just take creative steps forward. I think you guys need to make the decision to either implement what it is that you have planned, or implement your prototype, or to start experimenting with them. Because a lot of you guys have a lot of different ideas that you put on the back burner, and they're now coming back up for you to do again. Because with this Mars and Scorpio card, it says revenge, but for me, because revenge is that energy of getting back at something, or something coming to bite you in the ass, right? That's kind of like revenge. It's karma, right? So it's like if you had all these ideas that you put on the back burner, it's almost in a sense that the past or your past ideas is coming back to bite you. I mean, for some of y'all, they could be biting you in the ass, where it's getting to the point where these ideas won't stop. They won't leave your mind until you do something about it in regards to manifesting it or expressing it. But then also, I think in reality, it's just really highlighting you bringing something back up for the past, or tackling something that you need to address, or tackling something that once happened in the past. Gaining control of the situation and appreciating it for what it's worth, and use your ambition and tapping into a very responsible nature to cultivate whatever it is behind that idea. Okay? With this Jupiter in Capricorn highlighting the Lunar Mansion 5 with the wheel. Since Lunar Mansion 5 is all about social circles and connections and meeting the right people, it also highlights that this is about knowing the right people and gaining the favor and recognition of people in high places. Capricorn is all about career and social status. So with Jupiter in Capricorn, Jupiter is that Sagittarian energy. It's all about expansion. That's luck and expansion, right? So it's like you're going to be very lucky in that. With the Jupiter in Capricorn, it highlights a sense of, because I don't want to open a book, I'm going to use this all intuitive, so I'm using the intuitive knowledge that I have and pulling on all of the knowledge that I have already kind of retained from studying, right? Because ultimately, without information in our mind, we would not be able to even really connect to what our intuition is trying to tell us. So, or to express our intuition. So, the Jupiter in Capricorn, it highlights somebody that gains the respect due to work that was done over a long period of time. Somebody that may be in charge of some type of political, spiritual, or religious, like reform, or like body or something, right? It also denotes success from long-term work and very diligent and responsible position that is held in regards to other people, right? So some of you guys are really going to enter this space, or enter this stage. I hear set the stage, front stage, something like that. And I also hear exit stage left. So it's like some people's going to be exiting stage left, and they make a room for you to be on the stage and really have that time for you to be truly recognized for what it is that the universe put you in the position to illuminate for the collective, okay? Because we're tapping into some very big collective energy, and I think a lot of people, if not for you even appreciating your own self for how far you're going to make it in regards to your creative and material endeavors, you also will receive appreciation on behalf of your ambition, because ambition is ruled by Capricorn as well. They're very ambitious. So it's like your hard work is going to pay off in the end, okay? But with this underlying energy of the mass clarified by Jupiter and Gemini, I think this is a matter of expanding on your perspective, so that I feel like you need to do some self-talk, analyze your fears, analyze the things that you're trying to hide from yourself, analyze where there's deceit and illusion in your life, and kind of look at both sides of the story, and from there find creative ways to get past that. Because for me, it was like, every time I sat down and said, man, I'm afraid to show other people what I got going on because I'm scared they're going to judge me, and I realized that was stopping me from wanting to move forward. It was like I had to talk to myself and realize that, okay, but what if people aren't going to judge me, and I'm beating myself up and cutting myself short by not doing it, so I would never even get the opportunity to even see if how people was going to even react to it in the first place. And I'm already assuming that people is going to react to it negatively, and I'm going to miss out on an opportunity or the potential for an opportunity in my own life and in the life of others, due to my fear of probably just a small group of people out of 7 billion people that may not be entertained by what I'm doing, may not agree with what I'm doing, may not want to hear what I'm doing. But for every person that don't want to hear what you got going on, or don't want to be a part of what you got going on, there is going to be a group of people that want to be a part of what you got going on. Even if that one person is yourself, because yourself is a major group. I'm be honest. You, your ancestors, your spirit guides, that's a huge group too. And that's who I always hang out with anyway. Because God always got you. God always got you. Always remember that. Interesting. I feel like I clarified that pretty quickly. I don't think it was meant to really be that long, because I think now that, because we're probably like an hour and 20 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes in already. The next steps is for me to get some more clarifying cards with different oracles here. And we are going to get into messages from the lower selves. Then we're going to get messages from the higher self and stuff like that. Whatever. So, alright. And we already had the wheel at the bottom. I'm using the Animal Spirit Oracle deck. We already had the whale. The whale was all about diving deeper, right? So I'm seeing the stingray. We in alignment. The shark. The shark is all about being direct. So let's tap into it. All our angels and ancestors. Messages from the lower self. What do we need to know about our lower selves in regards to the situation? What do we need to know about our lower selves in regards to the situation? Ashe. What do we need to know about our lower selves? Okay. That was fast. Alright, so we had... Okay, so I kind of got four cards out right here. I usually like to keep it at 2 and then have an underlying energy. So we had the sea serpent, we had the zebra, and we had the unicorn, and the underlying energy is the wolf. Ooh. Alright, let me get this book out. I might even end it short because I'm tired. It's like an extended version, to be honest. I think I don't want to push myself too much. I think I be getting the message out, and I like to expand and elaborate on it, but I don't want to do too much. Alright, so the first card, the first page that was revealed to me was actually the unicorn, so I'm going to start by highlighting the unicorn card. The unicorn card says, reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago? The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from, and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power, and our mind hesitates between yes and maybe. Yes, no, and maybe. Hold on. We think about a higher power, and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eyes know there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for answers. So in reality, y'all, this is really just confirmation, because I already said this. Like, I already said this in the beginning of part 2 of this podcast. I said that our elevation of consciousness, and the light bringer, the light is the illumination of consciousness. Light illuminates the darkness around it. What you see is what you know. What you see and experience is what you know. What you shed light on is what you know. That's the term, to shed light on something, to gain awareness of it, right? Light is awareness, right? The things that our awareness and our knowledge of this world, and our knowledge of ourselves and God and everything, is merely a reflection of our desire to want to know it. If we didn't want to know it, we wouldn't know it. If we didn't want to know it, we would cease to know it. It's our own curiosity and our desire to want to connect to it that attracts us to it in the first place. And we are met with certain answers and certain experiences and interactions that prove its said existence, that prove its meaning, that prove its purpose. But now that really brings into play that along the line where we are now, we've gotten so stuck in the answers that we have now that we don't want to expand on the answers any further, to the point that when God and the universe does bring certain experiences into our lives, we fighting it, and we limiting ourselves from perceiving it for the truth that is trying to be illuminated within the situation. And that can be applied to so many controversial things that is going on in this world right now, and I'm not even finna get into it, y'all. I'm not going to get into it. But it also says right here, the unicorn highlights the 6th chakra. It says, it's no surprise the subtle essence of the unicorn card resides at the 3rd eye, the exact place from which the unicorn's horn extends. This center is called the Ojana Chakra, or command center. The ancient yogis believed it to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and deepest wisdom. Some say our 2 eyes see the past and present, while the 3rd eye peers into the future. And that's some Aquarius energy right there, and some Sagittarius energy, that visionary, that person that science, the desire to want to know, the desire to want to experiment, the desire to want to acknowledge what is going on around us. It's like that is all driven by intellect. It's driven by the desire that we are naturally commanded by our desire to know, our desire to feel, our desire to connect. Science is driven by the desire to want to know stuff. Like love is driven by the desire to connect and to relate. I don't know, y'all. It's like, it's not even that I don't know. I know, but it's like I don't know what I have to say for it to click to y'all's heads. But I feel like the people that I'm probably attracting to these podcasts are already at a certain level of intellect and intelligence where they can understand what I'm saying and can use this to build community for people like us, or should we stand on it to take their lives to a whole nother level? Okay? So let's highlight the sea serpent. The sea serpent is all about the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra rules desire, attraction, sexuality, and the ability to express that in emotions. So it says right here, sea serpent, healing emotional wounds and expressing desires. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotion. Okay, so let me start over. Let me drink some water real quick. Hold on. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression. Whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire, the sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current when the essence of this into a healthy current. Sorry, I can't see y'all. When the essence of this card is imbalanced, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. And I think this is alluding to us experimenting sexually and experimenting creatively without being ashamed of being ashamed of it. Because I think a lot of us, we hinder ourselves from expressing different aspects of ourselves and express our different desires and express our ability to create and bring new things and different things into our lives, because we are met with a certain shame that perhaps we perceive from the people around us and the environment that we originally once interacted with and normalized so much. Right? Yeah. So furthermore, y'all, it says, our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives, and in other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same, like a mother. She wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true nature. And it's like, we normalize certain things and around us and create traditions out of certain things without having the full knowledge and awareness that our nature, it's not even that our nature is constantly changing. Our nature is to change, but the ego likes to stay the same. The ego don't like change unless the ego was programmed to desire change and love change for the benefit of its own existence. Right? But when the ego and the soul both understand that it's okay to change and it's okay to implement change and to be the change, you feel so much at one with yourself and you allow the changes of life. You flow with the changes of life and the changes that life throws you, rather than suffering in it because you want to hold on to the illusion of what is no longer really there, because things have already changed no matter how much you want to accept it or not. And that's what this Lunar Mansion 24, the mask is illuminating. And it's governed by Capricorn and Aquarius. It's like the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. bruh, I ain't even gonna get into it. Because, and the crazy thing is, when I do watch tarot, it's this one girl that uses this deck as well, and the wolf card, that's highlighting the underlying energy, is a Capricorn card. And I just remember, I learned a lot from my experience with this Capricorn that I was dealing with. A friend of mine, well, we're not friends no more, but I don't know. We're not friends. I'm gonna be honest, we're not friends. Did some fucked up shit. We're not friends. It is what it is. But I learned so much about the world and the position of the people around me through what I saw as his suffering in relation to my desire to want to be free and want to embrace the deepest parts of my nature. I noticed that as I wanted to embrace the deepest part of my nature, there were certain people around me, not just him, but just certain people around me that limited their own self in doing so, and also wanted to limit me in doing so. Because for me, my success and all of my happiest moments have always been due to my ability to express myself and to dive deep and express the ever-changing aspects of what's going on inside of me. And when I was met with certain experiences and certain people that weren't so comfortable with doing that for themselves, it also put me in a very compromising position. And I think, I'll be honest, that's honestly kind of what led me to want to break free from the things that really trapped me. I think at that point, my experience with that old friend, or because I don't hate him, because if I hated him, then I would really be going off and trying to bring his name down in a sense where I wouldn't even acknowledge him as a friend. I mean, at some point, there was a part of me that acknowledged him as a friend until he showed that he wasn't really being the best, like a good friend to me. Or perhaps he wasn't really a friend to me at all. But no, I can't even say that because he was. But he started to show that he wasn't really a good friend to me. And I don't think he was really being a good friend to himself due to his inability to not be able to express things that I felt was really going on, that he really created a mask and hid from, like his self-esteem, his feelings, his desires, and it wasn't just him that I experienced that with. It was a couple of people that I experienced that with in my life. And I always noticed those people, they end up putting me in a compromising position where I'm triggered to want to grow. I'm triggered to want to grow out of the situation, kind of leave them behind and move forward with my life. Because at that point, it's like, you stuck in your ways. You want to stay stuck in what you got going on. You don't want to embrace the change. And I do. So it's like, I'm going with the current and you can stay wherever you want. Just leave me alone. But it just kind of reminds me of that situation because, and I chose him specifically because he has basically all his placements in Capricorn and Aquarius, like heavily. So it was like, for some reason, I couldn't help but to see him that he was literally embodying like the living energy of the universal collective, of the collective, and the challenges that we face collectively in regards to implementing change, innovation, and newer things into our lives in order to embrace our truer nature, right? Because at this point right now, collectively, that's what we're suffering from. We're suffering from our inability to create and manifest newer, better, and different things into our life that honor our human nature and the flow and the course that it's taking, right? So what's complementing this card is the Zebra card, and I think that's a Sagittarius card for me. And it's crazy how every time I say the card, it just kind of flips to the page. I don't know if that's a psychic ability, but it's like, it don't take me more than 1 second to get to the page. It goes like magic. It just opens up. Oh, we at 49 minutes. Damn. Alright, I'm gonna do this Zebra card, then we're gonna take a little break. So, Zebra, eccentric, creative, visionary. That's definitely Aquarius, Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius are visionaries, and Aquariuses are visionaries too. And Aquariuses bring on eccentricity, right? They're very eccentric in their approach. They're innovative. So it says here, zebras are the most precious of gems. They are young at heart, well-cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. Being in the company of a zebra personality not only is a delight, but also opens our minds. Be prepared. Their potent magic is contagious, and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land, expanding your worldview while having a blast. Zebras also like to contribute to the global health through environmental or volunteer work. This card may be a hint to pack your bag. So some of you guys could be traveling, some of you guys could be exploring, but this could be astral traveling, this could be traveling through the Akash, this could be physical traveling, but nonetheless, this travel and this expansion that you're doing across a certain body of whatever the case may be, this could be a body of consciousness, a body of land. You're going to be learning certain newer things, you're going to be learning certain stuff, and that's ultimately being led by your inner compass, your third eye. Because keep in mind, if y'all can't see the picture, but the zebra card, there's a triangle in the spot where the third eye would be, and it has a rainbow hue in it. So it's like you're being godly, and it says when in balance, it's worldly, enthusiastic, fashion forward. When out of balance, jaded, pouty, and vain. And that's exactly what was being discussed in the mask card, that Aquarius was coming in to bring in the newness, more fashion forward versus the old fashioned energy of Capricorn. Okay? So this is allowing innovation to take over, and allowing that innovation, the desire to want to learn more, and your curiosity to expand and to visualize what is yet to come in the future to lead the way, right? And the underlying energy, we have the wolf. That's crazy. We have the wolf, and under the wolf we have the fox, and it opened me up to the fox. So some quick messages. Some of y'all could be exploring with your sexuality. Some of you guys could be exploring with different ideas. Some of you guys could be exploring with your feelings, and you need to just allow the process to take place and find wisdom in it, right? Because the fox represents wisdom. It also represents a strong partner or mate and a wise teacher. So if you guys are connected to other people, make sure you find wisdom. Look for people that be on the surface. Your partner is more than just attraction, it's more than just sex. Your partner and your friends too, they're also a combination of your wisdom and your intellect. They should be able to push you guys to do better. They should be able to push you guys to be smarter, to want to learn more, to want to be more and do better in your life. That's what true partnership, relationship is, Libra energy. So some of y'all can have Libra highly aspect in your chart, Capricorn, Aquarius, Scorpio, Virgo, Aries, Gemini, and Leo. That's all I see right here. It's Sagittarius. That's what I see that we got going on right here. It says the wolf, guardian of family and tribe, activism and ritual. See, that's definitely like a father figure type of energy, and Capricorn are such good father figures. And they're very traditional. They definitely are the guardian of their family and tribe. I would definitely say that. So maybe your family and your tribe and your traditions may be the opposition to your need for wanting to experience something new or experience changes or something different in your life. Perhaps you're battling between tradition and old-fashioned traditional things, old-fashioned things, culture, and innovation, newness, difference, okay? The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or practical studies. So I guess I'm the wolf in this position right now. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. See? So some of y'all may be facing authoritative figures that may want you to follow in their footsteps. And this authoritative figure could be in your family, but it could also be society as a whole. Society could hold a certain level of authority over you where you feel like you can't be who you want to be because society won't let you, or you're scared, or because society is going to retaliate against you, or your family or tradition is going to. But now I also pick up on something personal. I don't want anybody to ever feel that I'm forcing them to change for me, or because I think it's right to change. I think it's right to just do whatever you want to do and allow the universe to take care of your actions. I think the most important thing for me is for y'all to be aware of how your actions affect you and other people and your decision making. Because at the end of the day, your destiny is only a result of your choices and the decisions that you make. So you need to be aware of how you connect to them, to the decisions and your thoughts, and how the influences that are behind your thoughts and your actions. Period. That's all I'm illuminating. So, although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practice and tolerance help to balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all and exclude none. So it's like, okay, see, I think this is like, when you have, I think this also highlighting y'all, when you have differences with other people because they're different from you, don't hate them. Because I think when I highlighted my relations with that Capricorn, he was my friend. I do not hate that person. I do not hate that person. I would say my feelings were really hurt in the past, but I've healed past that. But I understand the position that he's in due to my relationship with myself and where I'm trying to go. And I fully honor the position, the karmic position that he played in my life. Because without the pain that he caused me, or the pain that he illuminated within myself, which I now have fully taken full accountability for, to take action towards, to feel better about myself and do what I have to do to heal and learn about the pain that he triggered from within me, I'm able to move forward, and it's gotten me to this place where I can express my creativity, express my perception, my feelings, and excel in a way that spirit wants me to. Period. So I ain't never hating. And y'all shouldn't hate either. Y'all should never hate on the experiences that oppose y'all. Y'all should never hate on opposition. Y'all should never hate on the conflict. Learn from it. Find opportunity in it. Fall in love with the opportunity. Fall in love with the knowledge and keep it pushing. Period. Not Siri doing the most. Oh my God. Alright, and wow, this song that I'm listening to, I'm streaming Lo-Fi Girl right now. I'm streaming Lo-Fi music. I hope y'all like it. The song length is 2 minutes and 22 seconds, so 222. I think that was a sign. I think I needed to get that message out. I think I definitely needed to get that message out, both collectively and personally. Because I ain't no hating ass bitch. And it's all love. When I leave people and when I remove them from my life, or when I remove myself from their lives, or when I create boundaries out of the love that I have for myself and the love that I have for other people. Because I don't deserve to be suffering due to what other people bring to my life, and you don't deserve to be suffering for the things I bring to you. So I would rather not even sit and argue or cause more conflict and trying to change somebody. I would just remove myself and change myself and do what I gotta do for myself and move forward. Period. And I just remember one time I used to follow him on Twitter, and he used to tweet, "I'm never gonna change." That definitely sounds like him. That's that Capricorn energy. Capricorn do not like change, y'all. They don't. It's okay though. It's okay. Peace, love, and light. Let's tap into, first, let's take a break. We're finna take a break. This is an hour and 45-minute podcast so far. We're going to make it 2 hours. So we're going to take a little break. Enjoy the music. Pause it. If you want to leave and come back another day, or just listen through the music and meet me on the other side, I'll be right back. Peace, love, and light. Alright, y'all, we back. We are back. We are about to get straight into messages from the ego, or what psychological archetypes do we need in order to align our ego with this message, or align our ego consciousness with this message, or perhaps what archetypes are our egos demonstrating in relation to this message, okay? All our angels and ancestors. Let's tap in. I like this podcast. This is probably one of my favorite, one of my best podcasts that I've done so far. So I'm very proud of myself. Like, this is prototype. This is all prototype, but it feels so real. Alright, all our angels and ancestors. Clarity, guidance. Clarity and guidance. Alright. We have the Destroyer card, and it kind of came out in the reverse. Okay. And we have, I need to go turn the lights on, y'all. We have hedonist. But for some reason, hold on, let me go turn the light on real quick. The bitch cannot see. I can't see like shit. Alright, so we have Destroyer in reverse, which is highlighting it says intoxication with destructive power destroys others' dreams or potential. So some of you guys could have been dealing with see, this is playing with my experiences too much, because that's what I'm saying, y'all. This just reminds me of this situation I'm dealing with this guy that I was friends with and I used to work with. He was very toxic, and he very much so had destructive behavior, but that was like a tower moment for me. That was like a moment where his destructive behavior brought so much strife, conflict, and pain to my life that it illuminated and inspired the creative energy within me to embrace the good things in life and celebrate the beauty in myself. Because that's what the hedonist card is highlighting. But this don't have to just be a person. It's like we're met with situations and experiences and interactions with people, places, and things that try to destroy or limit our potential, that try to destroy our dreams. And your spirit won't allow that. And that's where you feel that sense of pain, that sense of trauma, that sense of anger, because deep down, your intuition or your spirit within you is trying to tell you, like, no, you didn't deserve this and you deserve to go for more. And then that will kind of set you on this spiritual journey to kind of create a path or use your creative energy to manifest a life that you truly desire, and a life that is well deserving of you being in it. You know what I'm saying? So on the positive side, the Destroyer card says releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. So some of you guys are releasing what is potentially destructive to you and to others in order to prepare for a new life, which involves inspiration, creative energy, and the energy to embrace the good things in your life and celebrate the beauty in yourself. So now in the reverse, it's like some of y'all could have been dealing with the energy that was very toxic. And perhaps they're obsessed with power and control. Deep down, they like to have control over things, or they're driven by this sense of having power over people or power in the situation, right? This person could also pursue pleasure to the detriment of their health, indulgence at the expense of others. So this is somebody that only really cares about indulging their senses, or only they like to have their cake and eat it too. This could also be indulgence in a sense where they like to drink too much. Because there's a picture of somebody like eating a whole bunch of grapes. She got all this food around her. But in the reverse, it's kind of like a sense of selfishness. Somebody that only really cares about themselves and no one else. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that really does things or uses others for their own self-satisfaction and their own gain. So some of you guys could have been triggered by that, or triggered by a relationship or an experience like that that's made you invest your creative energy, your love and stuff into yourself in order for you to manifest the life that you truly desire. So I think that was pretty simple. With this hedonist energy, this is definitely like a Taurus energy. And for the destroyer, it's giving scorpionic. It's giving like, it's definitely giving Scorpio, I'm gonna be honest. Now that I'm reading it again, intoxication with destructive power and my releasing what is potentially destructive, that's definitely Scorpio energy. So you can have Taurus or Scorpio highly aspected in your chart. So it's like, it's crazy though, because these are kind of opposing natures. It's like the destroyer highlights intoxication with destructive power and destroying people's dreams. The hedonist, Paige, what are you doing, girl? My cat acting crazy, y'all. She's so cute. She looking at me with innocent eyes. She don't even know what she's doing wrong. But like I was saying, Taurus is about, it's like that. It's like one energy is trying to destroy your dreams and potential. The other energy is trying to highlight your dreams and that potential and enjoying the good things that it provides for you. So there's that. Let's move forward because this can only be about 15 minutes long in order to complete this 2 hours. It might even be shorter. But let's get a message from our higher selves. What does our higher self need us to be focusing on to bring this into alignment? And that's ultimately going to take me into the next message in minutes. Keep in mind, it's a prototype. So it's like, I'm planning, I'm like using all these different ideas. I'm loving it, I'm loving the flow. And I'm glad that I even got to get through a full reading and a full podcast with you, my fellow people. So all our angels and ancestors, message from our higher self. What is it that we need to know from our higher self in regards to our alignments with this message and furthermore? Let's see. There's abundance, there's love, there's healing, there's ideas come. I see this crown chakra energy. Let's see. Alright. We have man holding a heart. So I feel like that could be about healing the masculine, healing masculine energy. Or masculine could be healing in your life. Or you need to be healing the masculine aspect of yourself. Because I feel like a lot of us were sitting in a very feminine energy where we were doing a lot of setting in our ideas, planning, analyzing, but we weren't really putting action to it. I feel like we're starting to be able to get up and tackle our inspiration and our creative energy, use that in a more assertive way to create, to actually manifest and bring it into our lives and stuff, okay? What's the underlying energy? Give me a second, y'all. Begin. Let me pause it real quick. The cards it didn't take that long for the cards to come out, but it's like the cards that we got coming out, there's like, okay, like there's definitely, so we had the man holding a heart card, women holding a heart card, the garden and the gate, goddess of the moon, and contract and patience. So it's like for some of y'all are attracting your divine masculine or divine feminine into your life due to you balancing out and showing that love to both aspects of yourself. I think as you move forward with this healing of the feminine energy and taking a masculine approach to heal the feminine energy in a sense, you are now being guided to leave your comfort zone and follow your intuition into higher level contracts and higher experiences that are meant for your higher self to manifest. Because we got the patience card too. It's gonna take time. See, and under the patience card, we have door to personal healing and happiness. So ultimately, your ability to understand this process of prototyping and apply it to your life in regards to your creative endeavors and material projects and life itself, and the lessons and knowledge is trying to have you incorporate into your life due to the experiences and interactions you may deal with, it's ultimately going to lead you to love, abundance, happiness, healing of the intuition, healing of the masculine energy, healing of the feminine energy, and a divine union and a contract with your higher self. Point blank, period. So I'm really, really happy to hear that. Y'all, stay tuned for the next message in minutes because we're finna get into it and see where this message takes us and what we're going to be expanding on next. I think it was a really successful podcast. Peace, love, and light. Namaste. My bad. So yeah, the message in minutes is going to be on Kaleidoscope. So make sure you guys check out Kaleidoscopes. Please like, share, and subscribe on Kaleidoscopes on YouTube. Also, you can check out Kaleidoscopes on TikTok. That's where you just get straight up message in minutes. You can also check out my Instagram. My Instagram is _KROWNME_, but I'll probably change that to Kaleidoscopes too. We're doing a lot of changes. But just stay connected. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you guys feel about this. Your comments, your opinions and stuff, they matter in a sense. And I would just like to hear how you guys connect and relate to what I'm providing for you guys. Nonetheless, stay tuned for the next message in minutes, which I'll be posting on Kaleidoscopes, TikTok, and most likely Instagram if I'm feeling motivated enough. Nonetheless, peace, love, and light. Namaste. Bye. Mwah.